This episode is sponsored by Kinsta. Between juggling client meetings, managing your website, and keeping up with everyday tasks, who has the time to stress out about website security? Well, with Kinsta, the technical stuff is taken care of, so you can focus on what you do best. Kinsta provides managed hosting for WordPress, offering lightning-fast load times, top-tier security, and unmatched human-only customer support. Whether you're a business owner, web developer, or running a digital agency, Kinsta makes managing your website easy and efficient. Kinsta provides enterprise-grade security, being one of the few hosting providers for WordPress with SOC 2 and other certifications, guaranteeing the highest level of security for your website. Thanks to their unlimited free expert-led migrations, Kinsta ensures a smooth transition for you from other hosting providers. Customers have reported 200% faster load times post-migration to their platform. What I find cool about Kinsta is their fast and reliable customer service and premium features that are included at no extra cost. Ready to experience Kinsta's hosting for yourself? Get your first month free when you sign up at kinsta.com today. That's KINSTA.com.
I learned from my past mistakes. I didn't dig deep into building the product first, then selling it to the customers. This time we actually built out just a simple website, talking about the problem statement, talking about the solution in general. And that took me just 1 or 2 days to build it on Framer. And then we actually sent that website to a lot of cold emailing, cold DMing to all the potential merchants that we can onboard, and started getting the feedbacks. And you'll not believe, but we are actually able to contact around 250 merchants from almost 30 plus different countries. My name is Ayush Agarwal and I'm the co-founder and CPTO at Dodo Payments.
This is Code Story, a podcast bringing you interviews with tech visionaries.
Spent 6 months moonlighting.
There's nothing on the back end.
Who share what it takes to change an industry.
I don't exactly know what to do
took
next.
many goes to get right.
Who built the teams that have their
A
back.
company is its people.
The teams help each other achieve
I was
more.
proud of our team.
Keeping scalability top of mind.
All that infrastructure was a
Yes,
pain.
we've been fighting it as we grow.
Total waste of time.
The stories you don't read in the headlines.
It's not an easy thing to achieve, mind
Took it
you.
off the shelf and dusted it off and tried it again.
To ride the ups and downs of the startup life.
You need to really want it.
It's not just about technology.
All this and more on Code Story.
I'm your host, Noah Labhart, and today how Ayush Agarwal is building your gateway to global revenue by simplifying cross-border payments and all things surrounding. This episode is sponsored by Speakeasy. Grow your API user adoption and improve engineering velocity with friction-free integration experiences. With Speakeasy's platform, you can now automatically generate SDKs in 10 languages and terraform providers in minutes. Visit speakeasy.com/codestory and generate your first SDK for free. This message is sponsored by QA Wolf. QA Wolf gets engineering teams to 80% automated end-to-end test coverage and helps them ship 5 times faster by reducing QA cycles from hours to minutes. With over 100 5-star reviews on G2 and customer testimonials from SalesLoft, Drata, and AutoTrader, you're in good hands. Join the Wolfpack at QAWolf.com. Ayush Agarwal is a techie trying to code his way out of things. He graduated with a degree in computer science, but more importantly, he discovered entrepreneurship in college, inspired by his successful classmates. He spent years gathering experience in different startup verticals, including fintech. But outside of tech, he loves to play badminton, cricket, and hang out with his friends. He's also big into chess, which he mentioned enjoying chess.com, as well as our recent interview with their CTO, Josh Levine. When Ayush met his now co-founder, they started to think through businesses and how much goes into setting up payments, taxes, etc. They started to dream about building this layer of payments to enable builders to send and receive global payments easily so they can focus on their core competencies. This is the creation story of Dodo Payments.
Dodo Payments actually came out of an idea that during my last company, right, we had a global audience. So being an Indian company, it was really hard to collect payments outside India. Because for India, I think we were able to solve that because the tax compliance, the payment gateway part was pretty straightforward. But when we have to expand across countries, right, then figuring out tax and other compliance for different countries, it's very tedious, right? And if you are, let's say, based out of United States or India, it might be a distraction for you because a lot of bigger companies actually have a dedicated payments and tax team to figure that out. And being an early stage company, it's always a nightmare to handle payments, billing and tax. So that actually struck with me. And when I met my co-founder, he also had that similar idea. Make the entire process of setting up payments along with billing, tax, fraud, chargeback, etc. and abstract that pain away from the end merchant so that they actually focus on building product rather than payments, right? Which is not their core criteria. This is the very core problem that we kind of addressed and we started working on it. And then we actually realized there are a lot of merchant on record companies that actually exist. Like there is a $1 billion company called Paddle, which is based out of Europe. Recently, Stripe also acquired Lemon Squeezy, which is also a MOR or built on top of Stripe, which is based out of USA. So we kind of thought this is already a proven model. Why don't we actually build this model for the merchant based out of India and emerging markets? Because anyways, they don't have access to Stripe and collecting international payment is always a pain point because all the payment gateways don't work really well and only have like 40 to 50% success rate with all the payments. So we kind of dig deep into it, understood. I think it took us almost 6 to 8 months to understand the model itself. And then we were fortunate enough to raise a venture round and then we kind of scale the team, build out the product. Now we're in the process of scaling the company, getting more and more merchants, and the feedback has been amazing. So, yeah.
Let's dive into the MVP. So tell me about that first version of the product you built. How long did it take to build and what sort of tools were you using to bring it to life?
This time, I learned from my past mistakes. I didn't dig deep into building the product first, then selling it to the customers. This time, we actually built out just a simple website, talking about the problem statement, talking about the solution in general. And that took me just 1 or 2 days to build it on Framer. And then we actually sent that website to a lot of cold emailing, cold DMing to all the potential merchants that we can onboard. And started getting the feedbacks around the problem statement, around the use case, around the solution that we were kind of proposing to them. And you'll not believe, but we were actually able to contact around 250 merchants from almost 30 plus different countries. And we kind of validated the problem really well. And when we told them about a solution, they kind of struck with them. The early PMF sign, which we can actually expect without building a product, is that whether that person will actually buy it or not. So we kind of end of it with every people. We used to ask, right, now you have validated the problem. Will you buy our product? Will you use our product? And actually, in the 250 people that we talked with, around 100 of them actually said yes. So that was kind of the validation for the problem itself. With that whole narrative, with that whole research around the problem and the solution, on that, we were able to raise venture capital. So that was kind of amazing.
Let's stay on that MVP for a minute. With any MVP, you got to make certain decisions and trade-offs around how you're going to build it, how you're going to approach it. And, it sounds like you got the job done and you raised money, but I'm curious about those decisions and trade-offs in the product itself and how you coped with those decisions.
Building an MOR takes a billing solution, a fraud solution, etc., etc. There are a lot of building blocks, right, when it comes to payment. So I think there was a conscious call whether we have to build each of the building products on our own or just partner with a different platform, build a sort of layer on top of that and create as a product. When we actually dig deep into it, let's say if we work with a certain partner for billing, it was posing a lot of problems around the customizability because all these different systems, they are built for individual merchants solving for their SaaS or digital products, right? But for MOR, there isn't a single solution because there aren't many MORs that exist in the world, right? So there isn't any dedicated solution for an MOR. So that's when we were trying to look at a lot of open source tools. There are a lot of billing tools that are available, even there are $1 billion companies for that. But it kind of realized to us, after a lot of research, after a lot of trial and testing that we can't use the solution. We have to build our own system incrementally when it comes to like integrating different payment gateways to optimize global payments or to setting up entities across different countries. We can't outsource this to anyone. So we kind of mapped out the whole roadmap or the whole product infra that is required for an MOR. Then we did cutting exercise, like how can we build a working product within 2 months? How can we build a scalable product within, let's say, 4 months, something like that. So we kind of stripped out a lot of different things that are required by an enterprise or a large size customer, but not required by the small ones. So we actually trimmed down our product roadmap while building the entire infra on our own. So that basically ensured like highest reliability, highest customizability, and we can also do incremental changes on that. So yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Speakeasy. Whether you're growing the user adoption of your public API or streamlining internal development, SDKs can turn the chore of API integration into effortless implementation. Unburden your API users from guessing their way around your API while keeping your team focused on your product. Shorten the time to live integration and provide a delightful experience for your customers. With Speakeasy's platform, you can now automatically generate up-to-date, robust, idiomatic SDKs in 10 languages and Terraform providers in just a matter of minutes. SDKs are feature-rich with type safety, auto retries, and pagination. Everything you need to give your API the developer experience it deserves. Deliver a premium API experience without the premium price tag. Visit speakeasy.com/codestory to get started and generate your first SDK for free. This message is sponsored by SnapTrade. Link in user brokerage accounts and build world-class investing experiences with SnapTrade's unified brokerage API. With over $12 billion in connected assets and over 300,000 connected accounts, SnapTrade's API quality and developer experience are second to none. SnapTrade is SOC 2 certified and uses industry-leading security practices. Developers can use the company's official client SDKs to build investing experiences in minutes without the limitations of traditional aggregators. Get started for free today by visiting snaptrade.com/codestory.
I'm so pumped about my new offshore dev partner. I'm saving a ton, and they even signed an NDA. Wait, is that our financial statements on the internet?
My dev partner has great communication. They can acknowledge an issue or email message super fast after they run it through Google Translate, of course.
I have a call set up with my partner right now. Hey guys, are you there? Wait, did you just ghost me?
Ever been in these situations? Yeah, me too. That is, until I found techy. Techy is world-class, nearshore talent for technology teams who demand the highest standards. The platform gives you access to over 50,000 vetted Latin America technology experts, including developers, designers, and IT professionals, all fluent in English and all in your time zone. In 7 days or less, you can have your tech expert hired through Techy's fast, efficient hiring process, which helps you find and onboard top candidates. Get senior-level talent at competitive rates, often half the cost of hiring in the U.S., but aligned with U.S. work culture and time zones, making teamwork easy and productive. Hire the best tech experts today with techy. Learn more at techy.io. That's TECLA.io. So let's move forward then. You've got the MVP, it's working. You've got the traction you're looking for. You raised the money. Now you're going to go take on the world. How did you go about, deciding what was next? And I'm curious about roadmap and what process you're following to go through that decision process of like, okay, this is the next most important thing to build or to address with Dodo Payments.
I think this time I took on the learning from my last company as well. In my last company, it was just the business was defining the product features. It was not the customers, right? So this time I actually learned from my mistake, and we actually, in our dashboard, right, we put this feature called feature request, where you can actually see all the feature requests that other customers of ours have put in, that they want this feature, they want this feature. And if a certain customer wants the same feature, they can go and upvote, right? So we have a certain features that have almost more than 100 upvotes as of now. And we already have a product roadmap defined by our customers. That made our entire product management process very simpler, right? We actually pick up all the features that our customers ask, and we also have certain features which business also demands. So we kind of have a framework which we called as a RICE framework, where we do a effort, impact, and other sort of analysis and provide a RICE score to every feature that we want to build. And depending on that, we prioritize within our product roadmap. With this exercise, we already have enough work for the next 6 months. We don't have to worry about that. We are pretty confident that as we progress and build more and more features, more and more requests will start coming, and I think our customers will be the only one who will shape our product.
So then I'm curious about team. I hear you saying we. How did you build that team? And what do you look for in those people to indicate that they are the winning horses to join you?
Every vertical that we have, whether it can be back-end, front-end, product, design, growth, DevOps, etc., needs a leader, right? I think during the interview process, we received like hundreds of thousands of applications on each of these vertical, right, that we were hiring for. And the only thing we kind of assess in the beginning is that whether the person is ready to do grunt work on its own. Because senior folk will come with a baggage, and there will be high chances that a senior folk might be requiring a team to actually work and to deliver certain outcomes. We were not looking for those folks, right? We are looking for folks who are senior, who have certain experience, but are also open to do grunt work on their own. And over the course of different interviews, different hiring process, we kind of assess this ability of that person to take ownership, to work under certain pressures. We actually designed our assignment in such a way that we had assignments for every role that we hired for. And for every assignment, the typical time that you can take to complete easily was 1 week. But we asked them to complete within 2 days, right? So that basically pushed them to the limit that they have to think like how to work in that high pressure, high timeline kind of environment. And that actually helps us assess whether that person is good fit for our startup or not.
This message is sponsored by QA Wolf. If slow QA processes bottleneck your software engineering team and you're releasing slower because of it, you need a solution. You need QA Wolf. QA Wolf gets engineering teams to 80% automated end-to-end test coverage and helps them ship 5 times faster by reducing QA cycles from hours to minutes. With over 100 5-star reviews on G2 and customer testimonials from SalesLoft, Drata, AutoTrader, and many more, you're in good hands. Ready to ship faster with fewer bugs? Join the Wolfpack at QAWolf.com to see if they can help you squash the QA bottleneck. This episode is sponsored by Vanta. You're a startup founder. Finding product market fit is probably your number one priority. But to land bigger customers, you also need security compliance. And obtaining your SOC 2 or ISO 27001 certification can open those big doors. But they take time and energy pulling you away from building and shipping. And that's where Vanta comes in. Vanta is the all-in-one compliance solution helping startups like yours get audit ready and build a strong security foundation quickly and painlessly. How, you ask? Vanta automates the manual security tasks that slow you down, helping you streamline your audit. And the platform connects you with trusted experts to build your program, auditors to get you through audits quickly, and a marketplace for essentials like pen testing. So whether you're closing your first deal or gearing up for growth, Vanta makes compliance easy. Join over 8,000 companies, including many Y Combinator and Techstars startups who trust Vanta. For a limited time, get $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/codestory. That's VANTA.com/codestory. This message is sponsored by SnapTrade. Link in user brokerage accounts and build world-class investing experiences with SnapTrade's unified brokerage API. With over $12 billion in connected assets and over 300,000 connected accounts, SnapTrade's API quality and developer experience are second to none. SnapTrade is SOC 2 certified and uses industry-leading security practices. Developers can use the company's official client SDKs to build investing experiences in minutes without the limitations of traditional aggregators. Get started for free today by visiting snaptrade.com/codestory. Let's flip to scalability. And I'm curious where this has come into play. Was this built to scale with scale in mind from the very beginning, or have there been areas where you had to fight it as you've grown?
I think all the different modules or all the different services that we have built, we have kept scalability, efficiency, and responsiveness at the top. I'll give you an example, right? On the back end, we used Rust. So I think nowadays, every other company who is just starting up will obviously choose MERN Stack, Node.js, Django to build out their backend, right? But being a payments company, I think what was core to us was reliability, scalability, and efficiency of our systems, right? So we chose Rust as our backend. And whatever systems, whatever services we are building, we are automating a lot of that using different SOPs, different workflows. We have a lot of AI agents working within our workflows to automate whatever part of process that we have for the product. And we have a lot of moving part that requires like manual intervention, and we have tried to automate it using AI agents and other workflows that we have. So yeah, everything we build has to scale. 3 months back, we had 0 merchants. Now we had more than 1,000 merchants processing 1,000 transactions a day. So I mean, like, that's been pretty insane for us. So I think within 3 months, we have grown so much. After 3 months, after a year, our product should be scalable and need to scale. And every decision that we take, like, have scalability in mind.
As you step out on the balcony and you look across all that you've built, what are you most proud of?
Within a span of 3 months, we are able to build a super stable product. Because now when people actually try our product, they kind of compares ourselves with Stripe. Right? So for the emerging markets, our people are calling us as a Stripe alternative for India and other emerging markets. Because Stripe doesn't work here, and we have other payment gateways which are multi-billion-dollar companies still not able to solve for international payments. But we, being an MOR, can partner with Stripe, other PGs, and have abstracted that problem out and pay enough collecting international payments. That's why I think when people compare us with Stripe or even say that you're the Stripe alternative for India, and we have kind of positioned ourselves in that way, in which our product is very stable, very intuitive, very fast. Our documentation for the payment integration is super smooth. I think we can compare our documentation with Stripe very easily. So it kind of gives that comfort to me that we just started building the products for 5-6 months back, and we are here when our users actually comparing ourselves with Stripe. So that's what I'm really proud of.
Okay, let's flip the script a little bit. Tell me about a mistake you made and how you and your team responded to it.
I'll not say it will be a mistake, but we spent a lot of time figuring like pre-made solutions for different problems that we have. So we spent quite a lot of time figuring out open source tech solution or like effective tax billing solutions for us. And I asked my team to write some integrations around that kind of wasted a lot of time. But in the end, like, we have learning, right? I'll not say we have made any mistakes so far, but I think during the research time, rather than building the product, we spent a lot of time iterating, trying out different solutions. If we could have avoided that, if I would have the learning before, then I wouldn't have done that.
Okay, this will be fun. Tell me what the future looks like for Dodo Payments, for the products, for what you offer, and for your team.
I think it's very clear, right? Being such a deep problem statement we are working on with such a massive market, I don't think we are stopping anytime soon. Right now, people are comparing us with Stripe, and we want to live up to the expectation. So this year, going forward, we would like to position ourselves as an alternative to Stripe for India and emerging markets. And yeah, I think that will be a journey. We'll make the global payment, the pain of setting up payments, tax, compliance, etc., etc. We want to make that seamless for our customers as well as any new budding entrepreneurs, so that they just focus on building product rather than solving for payments and compliance. So we want to take that pain away. Going forward, like, you'll see us competing with other MORs in the Western markets. So yeah.
Let's switch to you, Ayush. Who influences the way that you work? Name a person or many persons or something you look up to, and why.
Tony Hsieh was a founder of Zappos. He's kind of been my idol for quite a bit of time. Like, when I actually started to pursue entrepreneurship, I actually read his book. The idea of customer obsession and building something that actually customer wants struck with me, right? I made a lot of mistakes around defining the product roadmap as per my thinking, business thinking. And in the end, I kind of stuck with that thing only, like build only that thing what your customer wants. And I think this time we had made sure that we'll only build any feature that has been requested by at least 10 people within our merchant base.
Okay, last question to you. So you're getting on a plane. You're sitting next to a young entrepreneur who's built the next big thing. They're jazzed about it. They can't wait to show it off to the world and can't wait to show it off to you right there on the plane. What advice do you give that person, having gone down this road a bit?
I think a lot of budding entrepreneurs are actually obsessed around the solution, not the problem, right? And like if you are a techie, you tend to basically invest yourself building the solution, not the solving for the problem or identifying the market, right? So my only advice to all the budding entrepreneurs and all the like people who come for me for advice, I actually give them only one thing, that spend as much time as possible studying around the problem statement, talking to customers, validating the problem. And before diving deep into the solution, understand the market as well. Because a lot of entrepreneurs, all the like successful entrepreneurs or even the failed ones, I think the majority reason for them failing is they underestimated the market. They thought the market was super big, but in the end, when they were trying to monetize it, when they were trying to build into that, the market came out to be very small. You can be a very bad builder, bad entrepreneur in a large market. It is very likely that you'll build some sizable business, right? Because the market is very large. But if you're a super good entrepreneur building a very small TAM market, right? Then most likely you'll fail, right? Most likely you'll not be able to build a very large company. So this time, when I was also building Dodo Payment, this was my key, that whatever I need to build this time has to have some global and a sizable market to go after. And yeah, I think that has been my learning, and that's what I advise to all the younger folks and younger entrepreneurs who are just starting their journey on the ideation stage. And yeah, this is what I tell them to most obsessed on.
Well, that's great advice. Well, Ayush, thank you for being on the show today, and thank you for telling the creation story of Dodo Payments.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And this concludes another chapter of Code Story. Code Story is hosted and produced by Noah Labhart. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcasting app of your choice. And when you get a chance, leave us a review. Both things help us out tremendously. And thanks again for listening.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah.
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.